Hello, Minecrafters and Redstoners. I am Natanus Likens, and this is my little world for 1.17. Not much is going on just yet. Still got a lot of construction left to do. This is my starter house here, and yeah, we've got a little bit of a start going, even though 1.17's been out for almost a month now. Right? Is that right? Has it been out a month? I'm not really sure. But yeah, one thing about me that you need to know, because this is going to be kind of an introduction to who I am and what I'm all about and everything. But the first thing you need to know is I am Iron Man. So yeah, that's a whole thing. Anyway, so let's give a brief overview about myself and kind of get you introduced. First and foremost, I have played on several servers, none that are big time, like you famous servers that you might have heard about. More like smaller ones. Like I have played on Nerdcraft Terra. I have played on Stress Monsters Patreon server under a different name. Yeah, we're not going to discuss that. There's a whole reason behind that, but it's not important. And I also have played on Iscal's free server, and then I was trying on Exuma's creative server to learn how to be a better builder, because that is one of my main goals, is that I want to be a much better builder, because as you can see with some of the stuff that's incomplete as of right now, my build style still needs a little bit of work. So what I am going for, what I've been trying to do for the last several years, is learn how to make steampunk. Obviously, this doesn't look very steampunky. Unfortunately, I've still got a long way to go, and that's one of my goals here with my little short videos on YouTube, and that's to become a better steampunk builder. That is, I felt like this. That is one of my goals as far as building. I do consider myself a builder, but you can see from this, I'm obviously not that amazing. I'm not that great. I'm still working on it. It's going to be a work in progress. But yeah, that's kind of my thing. That's kind of what I'm about. So in case you may be wondering, my favorite two blocks are actually, keep forgetting the name of this. Excuse you. I'm out of arrows. I forgot. Sorry for this interruption. But apparently a skeleton wants to mess with me. Anyway, my two favorite blocks are the polished. Let's see if I can get back up here. Okay, the polished basalt. I absolutely love this. It's a great little block for building. Yeah, I haven't used any of it yet because I don't have a whole lot. One thing, my nether portal is inside there. Can't really see it from here. But I haven't found a basalt delta yet, which, from what I've noticed, a lot of people don't like. That's actually my favorite biome in the nether because of that block right there. My second favorite block is this one, the stripped warped stem. Honestly, I think the warp blocks, the warp wood, works really well with creating a steampunk vibe. Right now, we're trying to work a lot with copper blocks. I don't have a whole lot. You can see over here that this is not finished yet. I really don't have that much copper. It's kind of expensive, and it is kind of sort of rare, not that much. Anyway, what this is right here is just a sort of block palette, and this is just me putting a bunch of blocks down and trying to get a feel for different colors and variations on things, and trying to think about, okay, how can I mix these together? How can I make something look good compared to much better YouTubers and even builders that aren't YouTubers? But Yeah, like everything, it's a work in progress. So basically, what I've got here is your basic woods here. I wanted to try and build a block palette around the copper. So I kind of have this going on. It's got very similar colors going on. This, I believe, yeah, this is cyan concrete. If you haven't seen cyan terracotta, it looks great. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. And then we got warped planks. We got the warped something. I'm totally blanking. I don't know the name of it. Warped wart block. Good grief, why could I not think of that? Yeah, that's what I got going there. And then we've got all the new deep slates here, and I was adding dark oak fences to it because I've got plans, and I was hoping to find a good combo with these, and I think I'm going to end up going with the polished. I think that kind of works well with the wood texture fence posts. The rest of them not so much, and even the deep slate itself and then the cobble deep slate are very different. I don't actually have the deep slate over here because I didn't realize that they were two completely different blocks at first when I originally put that together. Okay, over here we've got blackstone here, and then I've got a small little dripstone farm. I really, honestly, this is so if you know some famous Minecrafters, you'll know that some of them have blocks that they can't stand. For instance, diorite. A lot of people don't like this block. I kind of like it. It's not the worst block. Actually, this dripstone blocks, this is the worst. Like, I can't think of anything to do with this. And I've been trying. I thought it would work. I thought it would look good as an underwater block for wood. So kind of that color difference to show wood underneath water. And no, there's not really a wood that this goes with. So I'm not really sure what to do with it. I've got a little farm here, and I've got a little bit built up here. Ignore the cauldrons. I actually forgot about those. And then with the azalea, I have the rooted dirt here where I can bone mill it and get the roots. Again, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. Most of this stuff would work really good for cavern builds, but I don't really like building caverns or anything. I'm still learning how to do steampunk for the most part, and it's about my time, so I need to go in here and sleep. One thing about my storage is while it is kind of everywhere, unlike other people, I usually am pretty good about making sure that it is separated and where it's supposed to be. I mean, technically this is a chest monster, but if you start looking at stuff, you'll know that it's all pretty organized pretty well. Like, this is going to be stuff I built for the roads. I got nether bricks in here. I got red nether bricks here. I started collecting some smooth sandstone. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. I have ideas. I think it could work really well with steampunk styles as well. And we're actually going to be trying like 3 different styles. I'm going to try like normal style steampunk, like kind of like what this is supposed to be. And then with this one over here, we're going to go for a darker color set. See if I can kind of create steampunk out of a darker color palette. And that's what these white blocks are for, because I want to try and make like a much lighter and brighter version too. See if I can do that. Like, this is the smooth sandstone right here. And then we got several different little farms around over here. We got some redstone testing I was doing. I actually need to remove this because it's been finished for a while. It actually does work like I want it to. So we got the observer here. piston here, piston up here, redstone block, piston here, repeater on 1 tick, repeater on 1 tick, repeater on 4 ticks, and then the redstone line going into that piston right here. And what this basically does, if you don't know, observers send out 2 pulses when they activate, which makes certain farms kind of frustrating, because if I didn't have this circuit in the back here, what would happen is this piston would just constantly fire. It would just keep going every second because the observer is constantly seeing a change in the block it's looking at. If I can get down here, yeah, see, we got the little face facing down. So if I take this pumpkin, what is going to happen is it's going to send a signal out, which is going to power this piston here. It's going to push that redstone block. Now, these aren't sticky pistons, none of them are. So what it'll do is it'll push the redstone block over here, which powers all this, sends it down to that piston there, which breaks the pumpkin. And because this is on 4 ticks, this is going to send out that second signal as soon as the pumpkin breaks. And because this isn't a sticky piston, this is going to fire, but it's not going to do anything. It's just going to push. But the redstone block's already going to be over there. And I can actually demonstrate this with the pumpkin. So essentially what's going to happen is this piston here is only going to fire once. So watch this. I love that. Like, this piston up here fires multiple times, but it really doesn't do anything because it's already pushed its redstone block across. And it works. This is actually based on a pumpkin farm that I found, but the problem with the one that I found was that it wasn't tileable. Like, essentially all it would do is I'd put like pistons all across here, and then observers all on top here, and if any one of these grew, every single piston would fire, and it would just seem like a waste of effort to me. So what I did, that was my experiment, is we come over here past everything else that's going on. I've got that's my villager breeder up there. It's not fully automatic because I don't want villagers all over the place. We've got a couple of different auto farms in here. This guy's doing beets. The guy over there is doing potatoes, and the one across from him is doing carrots. And effectively, it's just your standard farm. So they come over here, they try to throw him food. It gets caught in the minecart hoppers, and it just feeds down to the storage system below. But over here, so we've got all of this set up, and effectively, excuse you? Why? Okay, oh no, why did I do that? Effectively, we've got like all this tiled out, so that eventually, why are these? Hello? What's going on? Okay. Well, I'm glad I came over here. Didn't realize these were broken. I'm guessing because I was out of range of them. My copper farm is like way over that way a ways. Anyway, I should be able to make a tower out of this. Now, it's going to be bigger than your standard tower, but it should work. I haven't done that yet because I don't really need to. It's not like I'm playing on a server with multiple people who also need pumpkins and melons for trading. It's literally just me, so I don't really need a whole lot there. And yeah, well, while I'm thinking about it, so let's just go around and take a quick little tour of what I've got going on. I don't have a whole lot, and most of it doesn't even look that great because I'm still working on it for the most part. Working on it when I can, basically. But we got a little chicken farm here. I haven't put a block there yet. This is just your standard mumbo jumbo chicken farm here. We go down and it's already full, and you can see that this is completely full. Let's just do this up. I still need to fix how this is arranged because right now I don't have any overflow for that. The overflow for the eggs, on the other hand, okay, so once the eggs get backed up all the way to that hopper, it goes over there, spits them into the dispenser, which then shoots the eggs out. And, excuse you? How rude. Anyway, so the chicken eggs get spit out into that dispenser, and then it shoots them out, and hopefully we get a chicken, which then turns into chicken nuggets. Yeah. So that's a thing. But yeah, that's our little chicken farm. This actually took a long time to happen. I actually AFK in there. This is a potato farm, but it's not producing potatoes. This is producing bone milk. Because, you know, we're using a lot of bone blocks. A lot of bone blocks. But yeah, that's that. We got a honeycomb farm here that doesn't actually have enough bees in it. But it is producing way more honeycomb than I actually need, so I need to get an overflow system on this eventually. I also need, I'm saving some space here so I can make a honey bottle collection system as well over here. And then over here, I went and found me some bamboo. We got a little mini bamboo farm here, which I imagine is like overflowing. Yeah, it is. I haven't even been using it. Mostly because I don't really need bamboo for anything other than scaffolding blocks. Ooh, we just saw that's an iron golem farm up there, and it seems to be working a lot better now that I made some changes to it. I haven't completely made the changes I wanted to because I'm a little bit worried about things breaking, so you can't see it from here because we're out of render distance. But these fence posts here is what has my signs on it that keep the water there from flowing over. And unlike other iron farms that you may have seen, this is, instead of going from the outside in and dropping the golems down in the middle, it's actually dropping them to the sides. I thought it'd be really cool to see all the golems falling there. Unfortunately, it doesn't spawn them as fast as I would like. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to expand this and kind of, well, not kind of, but have like something like 8 quadrants. That way we get like a steady flow of golems on each side. I don't know if that's going to work. And funny enough on that, there's one little thing about my iron farm that I still don't understand, and that is that it's working. I don't know if you can tell from here, but there's no zombie up there. There's not a single zombie up there. I don't know why it's been producing iron golems. I have no idea. I don't know the technical aspects of it. But I do know that I'm supposed to have a zombie up there to scare the villagers. You can't see them. They're invisible from here. But it's still working for some reason. I don't know why. It's awesome that it's working, but I'm still very confused with that. I don't know why. But then obviously we got, cats everywhere because I hate creepers. I hate creepers so much. I mean, who doesn't? Who out there likes creepers? I mean, I can't think of anybody that likes creepers. But anyway, so that's kind of what we got going on around this area, along with all my block pallets. Like, this is probably what I'm going to use for the roads. I'm thinking, I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have a good way of getting moss at the moment. I'm still debating on how I'm going to go about getting mossy things. Like, I could expand my vine farm here, make a bigger one somewhere else, or way out past my melon and pumpkin farm, up on the ridge there. We'll have to go over there. I do have mossy blocks that I was messing around with because they're literally, this whole area is just amazing. There's so much here right next to each other. But there is a shipwreck right there, and there was moss blocks in it, so that was awesome when I first started this world about a month ago. But up here, we're on the backside. We gotta get over there. This is where I have my moss that I've sort of been farming, sort of haven't. I mostly farmed up some azaleas and everything, and I gotta say, I'm not really impressed with the azaleas. They're kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but they're all the same shape. And yeah, I get it that, other trees like oak trees and birch trees and even some spruce trees all have the same kind of layout. But these, like, the only real change between them is where the flowering azalea bushes are. Like, that's the only difference. Like, the wood is always in the exact same shape. It's always the exact same amount. And it's oak wood. Like, I'm not really impressed, honestly. And we'll get back to that. Well, no. So let's get back to what was at hand. I'm getting sidetracked. So here's my moss right here. And basically all I've been doing is just coming up here, bone milling it, and getting my, moss carpets, azalea bushes, flowering azalea bushes, and all that stuff. I haven't really set this up to be able to harvest this stuff because it destroys the blocks around it. That makes it both good and bad in a way. Which just made me think there is something I wouldn't mind destroying with this stuff. I would not mind it at all. Let's put that there. And actually, I'm going to throw my armor back on. And yes, I know it's gold. The reason I do that is for the piglins right out of my portal. So my portal to the nether leads straight into a crimson biome, so there's piglins every time I go in there. Would much rather have had a warped biome instead. I actually had to travel kind of far out to get the warp wood that I have currently. Oh, yeah, I remember. I just got sidetracked. I just completely forgot what I was doing. So what we got going on over here? This is just a super smelter. That's all it is. It's not a fancy big one with all the rails or anything. This always works perfectly for me, so I rarely bother making an actual fancy super smelter. Don't really need to. We got my first cauldron here, and this is me trying to figure out exactly how to do this. Clearly you don't need a space between it. I've seen a lot of other Minecraft YouTubers say that you need a space. No. No, clear. There's not a space here. You do not need a space between those. I don't know why everybody's saying that. In fact, I could probably take that right now and then we can come back to it later and show you that it's full again. But this is what I was thinking about destroying with the moss. I use a lot of spruce. I don't know if you can tell that, but I use a lot of spruce in my builds. That is a byproduct of Wells' knife. I forgot exactly what it was, but in one of his Hermitcraft videos, he was talking about using spruce for his builds, and that's the only wood he uses. And now it's pretty much the only wood that I use. Except for when I'm doing like detail light. I don't think the spruce wood is dark enough to match up to the... Sorry, the spruce planks, spruce fences and all that is not dark enough to match up to the darkness of the spruce. However, dark oak is almost the exact same shade. So I generally pair dark oak with spruce in all my builds. It's just something I do. With other things, it just depends on what I'm doing. That's why I have this wood wall here. But yeah, that might be what I do with that to get rid of all the nasty podzol. Yeah, I don't like podzol. Not an appealing block. And then we got a jungle tree here that I was lucky enough to get from a wandering trader. He actually had jungle saplings for trade, so I was able to get those before I was ever able to get to the jungle and get my bamboo. Yeah, oh, well, okay, you can't even see the bamboo from here, but you get the point. You get the point. And yeah, we have the Wandering Trader head. So I do have the Vanilla Tweaks mob heads. I also have Vanilla Tweaks Enderman griefing, because I have come back before from being AFK to find just a huge mess because of Enderman. I do not have creeper explosions, though. That we are kind of... I'm trying to avoid that. Try to keep the game as natural as possible. But the Enderman thing, no. That's gotta go. So we're coming back in here. You may be wondering why. It's because I almost forgot about something that I needed to show. So, if you've watched any of my other videos, I did a video where I was showing that I had collected about 2.5 stacks of copper ore versus my copper farm, which is over there, which is where we're at, which I'd only gotten about 2.5 stacks of copper bars. Yeah, and all that copper ore came from the area I dug out for the slime farm over there, along with some caving to light it all up and make sure that nothing can spawn down there except for zombies when I'm at the spawner and slimes in the slime farm. So all the copper ore I had gotten from that, I then mined out to see how much I would get versus the copper farm. And yeah, you've got quite a bit of copper from there. Honestly, after that, I think the copper farm is kind of useless, to be honest. I can't think of a better way of putting that. It just doesn't seem to produce copper fast. And part of that is because I kind of built it wrong. Don't tell Tango. The actual spot where you sit and kill the zombies is a little too far away from the spawner. I didn't realize that when I set it up the way I did. I haven't gotten the snow golems in there yet, but still, I've barely gotten any copper out of that versus everything I found while I was excavating and then caving. So we're going to go over there next. I'll show you that, and I do have to apologize for how it looks. It's still not finished. Oh, before we go over there, we're going to stop over here because this is also doesn't look very good. That's my lava farm there. This needs a lot of work, but this is my bee farm. This is where I come in, breed up my bees. I do need to get some more beehives in here so that I've got plenty of beehives that I can move around, do different things with for either aesthetics, farms, or whatnot. Definitely farms because I don't have a bottle farm yet for honey. But yeah, this is this. It doesn't look that great. I still need to do some detailing, such as putting, I want to get some bushes in here and leaves. I don't know if I'm going to just plaster it or try to decorate it, like having leaves and things growing up the walls. I'm not really sure just yet. And it is night. And it is raining. Yay. Okay, so let's go over here, sleep the night away. And then we'll go over to the copper farm and slime farm. Show you what I've got going on there. Not much has changed. Well, nothing has changed since the last video. Nothing at all. Because this is more like an introduction to me and showing around a little bit. Compared to other Minecrafters on YouTube, I don't really have a whole lot of time to really work on bases and everything, so I usually, when a new version comes out, I usually fall behind everybody in the Minecraft community. Mostly because I don't have a whole lot of time to build, so, excuse you. Excuse you. And there's a creeper hole back there I gotta fix. Okay, and over here, you know, I did say that that's my bee farm. Technically, this would be my bee farm, because this is where I've been planting trees to try and get beehives to spawn. And if you didn't know, when you plant a sapling, you put some kind of flower next to it. Thought I heard a zombie. You put some kind of flower next to it, and there is a very low chance that when the tree grows up, there will be a beehive on it. And you see one there, there's another one here, one back there, and I think there's a fourth one that grew while I was working on the slime farm. No, is that it? That might be it. 1, 2, no, 3. I thought there were 4. Yeah, I thought there were 4 of those, but I guess I was wrong. Anyway, here is the slime farm. It's, for the most part, it's dug out. It's dug as deep as I need it to go because I gotta do other things there. And I don't, well, I do. I've got a ladder right there. But eventually this will be dug out. I'm still in the process of doing that. That way we can get down there easily without just basically falling down a ladder. But that torch down there represents the lowest block that is going to be in the spawn area. I do plan on having 3 spaces here and along this edge too, and that will be the catch chamber, and then all the slimes will get pushed on, what do you call that, like a water slide? I don't even know what the technical name is, but they'll get pushed over there into this corner here, which is where I'm going to have the kill chamber. I'm still debating on what I'm actually going to do for the kill chamber. Originally I was thinking magma blocks, but after watching a video by Pixel Riffs, I've learned a few things about hopper minecarts that I did not know, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this now. I may I may make it exactly like the iron farm with a single with a single lava source in the middle, and then just hoppers underneath, feeding into a hopper dispenser that will dispense it to the storage area somewhere. I haven't quite decided where I want the storage system for that to be. And all of these chests here, all of these chests here is was every single block that I mined out digging this massive hole. Uh, except for the wrong box, except for the copper. I took the copper, most of it, and mined it all out to get all the copper that I've got. All the raw copper I've got over there now. Then all the way down here, down to this level here, this is the entrance to the copper farm. And if you don't know what I mean by a copper farm, it basically is a zombie spawner that converts zombies into drowns, and then you just use your looting sword on them, and you eventually get copper from them. And that's all the copper I've gotten out of this farm so far, which is not much. And all these chests here, I do have to apologize for how this looks. I kind of messed up when I built the storage system. It was meant to be one block back, that way the wall wouldn't be flat, and eventually I may put in a zombie spawning area over here, and that will be like the reinforcement system. And eventually I'm going to have snow golems up here that will shoot snowballs at the zombies. And unlike Tango's version of this, I actually made the killing area for the baby zombies 2 blocks lower. I believe he's got it. I believe his is set up that the killing area is on this level, so there's literally only 1 block gap between the fence there and the ground. So the baby zombies could easily walk over this and into the chamber where the snow golem is. So I essentially just dropped down 2 blocks lower, and it seems to be working. I've only had like maybe 2 baby zombies get out of this, but so far that's been it, just 2. You can see this little guy right here is getting ready to fall down. There is one other problem I have noticed. It's not very common, but sometimes you will have zombies that don't convert. They make it all the way through and they don't convert into drowns. It's not common, but it does happen. So with keeping that in mind, and the fact that zombies do occasionally have iron, so the way I've got this broken up is all 9 of these chests is for copper. I have these 3 chests for any iron that manages to get through the system. And then this section here is for drowned heads. And let's just refresher. I have just under 3 stacks of copper ingots compared to all these heads. I have just under 4 stacks of heads. I'm getting a lot more drowned heads out of this than I am coppers. A lot more. I don't think that really does it justice either on the difference there, but I've been getting a lot more heads out of this than anything. I haven't really been rushing the slime farm. It's getting kind of loud here because of all the zombies. I haven't really rushed getting the slime farm complete. I know I showed this in another video, but just digging that hole out, I've gotten quite a bit of slime balls, which is honestly more than I will probably ever use. I mean, yeah, like, I don't think I need that. I do not see me using all of those, so I am in No rush to get this completed at all. I'm more worried about trying to get access to some of the stuff that I don't have access to yet. Like, for instance, I still don't have Coco. And he didn't come running. I actually have a new puppy whose name is Coco. He's sleeping behind me right now. But I haven't been able to find cocoa beans just yet. The jungle that I got my bamboo from didn't have a single piece of cocoa in it. None. And I thought it was connected to a much bigger jungle. No. No, it's not. It's literally just a jungle bamboo forest. That's all it is. And then here we got all my axolotls that I have found and decided to take care of. We'll put it like that. And one of these brown guys, I actually found while I was out caving, way over that way. He literally spawned in a single column of water that went nowhere. He probably would have died down there if I hadn't just scooped him up and brought him with me. There was a white one down there as well. I only had one water bucket, so I had to save one of them, and I already picked up the brown one, and I found the white one later, and I actually debated whether or not I was just going to put the brown one down and grab the white one, but I was like, no, I found the brown one first, I'm just going to keep it. I haven't found a blue one yet. Speaking of which, if we go over here so we can see it. That pillar right there is not a shipwreck. That is me marking a underwater cavern that has axolotls all in it. Like, there's tons of them down there. Well, there was. I don't know about now. I haven't been back over there since I caught all of those guys. But yeah, pretty much all but two of these guys I found over there. One of them was me seeing how the breeding mechanic works with them by feeding them a fish, which is actually a little bit more of a pain than you may think. I don't really like how they did that. Let's go see before we finish up. I don't want to bore you guys to death with me just talking. So. Oh yeah, we got their jelly cats. Jelly 2, and this is their child. Then I have 2 parrots that I managed to rescue. Only 2. Yeah, I was saying about the axolotls. Yeah, I don't like the breeding mechanic of the axolotls, where you have to catch a fish in a bucket and then feed it to them. The reason being is that if you don't click perfectly on them, all you do is release the fish. And then they kill the fish. So you don't get the love hearts, which says, hey, they're breeding. I don't like how that works. It's kind of annoying, to be perfectly honest. Because I've tried doing that several times, breeding them, and all I end up doing is releasing the fish in there. And they just kill it, so I don't... I fail at breeding them. So, yeah. Mojang, if you're listening, can we please get a different method of breeding the axolotls? Because, perfectly honest, it's coming for closer. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain. And then one other thing I wanted to talk about, and this again is specifically for Mojang. So right now, the azalea trees, if I go over there and I chop up that wood, the wood is just oak. Why? So, what I'm going to suggest, we have all these wood colors here, right? And birch is the lightest, but it's really not all that light. And as you can see on my building, I'm going to get to the point in a second. So the bottom of here, we have a lot of texture variation going on. It's one thing me, well, technically, I don't think he even remembers it, but I was watching his stream, and Wells Knight and I got into a little bit of conversation about texture variation. And I'm okay with it as far as like the grays are concerned. Everything else, I mean, these don't match up very well. Like the dark grays do. They match up fairly well. Like you can texture variate with this stuff all day long. Like these really do kind of complement each other. They work really well together to make various builds. However, the woods, not so much. I mean, I've seen some streamers mixing spruce with oak to show like highlights as far as the strip logs are concerned, but I mean, they don't really mix with anything else, in my opinion. Maybe the acacia works well with like orange terracotta or something. I don't know. They don't really mix that. So what I am suggesting, we actually have azalea trees, growing in our front yard. And they are very, 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 very pale in color compared to the rest of these. So my idea is something of like a wood grain type texture, but somewhere in between the sandstone and the bone blocks to make it very, very, very light. Make it to where it is possible to mix that with the bone blocks and the sandstone, or smooth sandstone, and also with the birch. Like a very pale color, like something like, see how this is, the strip birch is kind of dark compared to the smooth sandstone. Like have it something in between smooth sandstone and bone blocks, like a whole new wood type that we can have. Ooh, okay. And I think that would work really well on being able to do texture variation with bone. Because right now, my this just looks kind of plain. It's mostly because I haven't done any detail work on it. I'm still working on trying to get enough copper to finish the roof. There's other sections up there I haven't done, but that's because I've been doing other projects. The amount of copper I need is kind of insane. Nothing compared to some of the others, but you gotta put it in the time comparison there on how much time I have to play versus how much time like a YouTuber has to play. So it's a little bit harder for me to get copper at the moment, which is something that one of the things that a lot of Minecrafters complained about was something I did quite a bit and actually started to do right there. Take a wild guess what that note blog is for. Note blog? Note block. Yeah, I was thinking about putting a AFK fishing platform there. I actually have the vanilla tweak that restores the looting tables from the old AFK fishing for obvious reasons. Like I said, I don't get that much time compared to everybody else to play, so my time constraints mean that I have to do things specifically or like set a goal, like I'm out to do something specific. Like, what the heck did I just see? Like, for instance, the one goal I had today was to try and get a little bit bigger birch farm going. I would like to make an AFK farm, but I've been trying to find one through 1.17, and I can't seem to find an auto one. Oh, it does work with birch. Okay, cool. I didn't know if that worked with birch trees or not, so I kind of did. Ooh, we got another one over here too. Awesome. But yeah, this is my little birch farm right here. And this is something I wanted to set up today because I need a lot more birch for strip birch logs. Mostly for the slime and copper farm out that way. And if you couldn't tell, like all of that is strip birch. Honestly, I think birch gets a bad rap, and so does diorite. I think it gets a really bad rap. We need a new block to hate on, and my vote for that, everybody, my vote for that, the dripstone block. Like, this is so ugly. I don't even know what to use it for. But yeah, that's kind of me. That's kind of my base area. I know I didn't show everything because I didn't even talk about the animals that I have. I mean, they're just typical breeding pens. There's nothing really to talk about there. And I didn't even show my trading hall that I'm working on, but that's kind of that's a long haul project. I see that now. That's a project that's going to take a while, so there's no point in showing that yet. I mean, none of these projects are actually done. None of them. But yeah, there you go. And again, to Hypno. So I have lava sources there. You can't really see, but this is actually sitting on, they're sitting on tough blocks. That block right there. I thought it would be kind of a cool little decoration thing, but then I put stone stairs there. Actually, let's go over here before I get off of here. Before I stop recording. I'm still planning out what this is going to look like. The only thing I've done so far is gotten this, make it look like there's a door there. Eventually I'm going to put like a crate down there and little bits of material that have been gathered, like ore blocks and such. But yeah, so we got dripstone here. I don't remember, dripstone spike or something. Then we got the tough block with a lava source on top of it. Every single one of these has a lava source. None of it is flowing lava. And like I said in my tweet, like I said in your stream the other day, this fills up pretty fast. Like, I actually, before I started recording, I actually took out about half of this to fill up my super smelter over there, and it's already full again. So I'm not really sure how long it takes, but when you got 32 cauldrons collecting lava, it doesn't seem to matter. I will say the bigger you make this, the quicker you'll be gathering lava for different projects, whatever you're doing. If you're making something for a smelter array or whatnot, if you're trying to make like a lava like a room where you can see lava, I don't know what you would call that. Or if you're trying to make a volcano, this is actually fairly quick. It works really well. And I imagine if I had a full 64 cauldrons here, I would basically never run out of lava. I mean, technically right now I don't run out of lava at all anyway, but I don't have to go looking for it anymore. One of the things down in my mine shaft, which is over here, is my mine right there. I still haven't finished my stairs. I actually need to go down there and fix them now I'm thinking about it. I had a creeper explosion the other day. But yeah, I was taking a lot of the lava from all the lava lakes I came across down there, and now I don't need to. That actually keeps me pretty full on lava. Like, I rarely have to go and find lava. Well, actually, at this point, I don't have to go find lava at all. This fills up so quick that I don't need to. But then again, I'm not playing on a server with a bunch of people who are probably causing lag or using up the lava buckets for whatever they're smelting or something like that. I mean, I've got plenty, and before I got Silk Touch, I mean, I was having to smelt all of my uh, cobblestone to get stone in order to make stone bricks. But yeah, this has still got quite a bit of. It's still got a good amount in there. I've got only 14 buckets here. There's 32 buckets in total for lava. I don't like you. Go away. I do need to move that one. I'm not sure what to do with that. And then I've got another 7 cauldrons over there, as we saw earlier. But yeah, that's pretty much me. And if you're wondering what this pillar is, I was having some issues where half of my base up top kept burning down, and I didn't know why. Like, I would come home from work, and half of this would be burned down. And I have no reason as to why. So this is a lightning rod pillar. There's a lightning rod up on top of there. I've got one here. There is another one somewhere over there to keep that from burning down. And so far, what are you doing in there? Get out of there. Really? Stupid creepers. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little tour and hearing my voice in a video for once. It's kind of unusual, but normally I can't really talk. So that's why we get the narrator. In case you're wondering, that's simply because people are home, they're asleep, and I can't really, chat with everybody. Even on streams, it's just basically there is no mic during those because I don't want to wake anybody up. I don't want to bother anybody, so I stay quiet pretty much. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour of seeing everything that I've been working on, what I'm working on, what I'm about, how I'm trying to go about it, and everything. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that yet because we're still learning all this YouTube stuff. So I am waiting to do some builds because I want to do time lapses, and I have to wait on those for replay mod to be available in 1.17. I know it's available to Patreons right now. Yeah, that's for patrons. So I can't really afford to be a patron, so whatever. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you around. Take care. Do whatever it is you do in Minecraft, and enjoy. Yeah, that's all I got. See you next time. I am Natanus Likens. Have a great day.